All right. Would you all join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Okay, thank you. Well, with that, I will call the Damariscotta Select Board meeting of December 21st to order. We are currently down two members tonight. I think Josh Pinkham might be rolling in here in a few minutes maybe, and Andrea Kashkarian had a very important thing she had to go to tonight. So we are.
There he is.
And then holy moly, just under the
Speaking
wire.
of the devil.
There he is, speaking of the devil. So it is just a little housekeeping. We did move the meeting tonight as there was an AOS 93 budget meeting Wednesday or last night, the 20th, that a lot of people attended. So we moved it around so board members could go to that as well. On the agenda, there is a change to the agenda. We originally were planning on an executive session this evening, but that's going to be hopefully put off till next meeting. There's a mix up there. So we will not have our executive session this evening. So, and that will
also need to add the RFP, the selection of
this one. Yeah. So we're going to add that in. So, and another change. Yeah. We're sneaking us stuff in the wire. So we do have a, RFP here. We'll add, in the, we need an official action item on that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So under official action items, we'll be adding in, an RFP from Andy here. So we'll go through that when we get there. We can start out with, the minutes of December 6th. Do we have any, proposed changes?
Can I try one more name change?
All yours, Dan.
So
Yep.
Ron Heiser, his name doesn't have an E in it. It's on page. It's just HISER.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
No problem there. Anybody else?
Well, under 9, it says Tom Anderson speaking for the aquaculture Damariscotta River users, all capitalized. It sounds like an organization, which it isn't. Under select board
9.
discussion items, number 9. I would say Tom Anderson commented as far as leases and licenses.
Oh, so you're looking at the first line, Tom Anderson speaking for the aquaculture.
Yeah, there is no such thing as aquaculture.
Yeah, okay, so just a change in, it's not
Yeah,
it's not an
just
organization. Yeah,
Commented that,
okay. So just to make sure it's not an organization, just a lowercase on there, so, all right. Either one of you wanna,
Take it off completely.
Yeah, just say Tom Anderson commented that as far as leases and licenses, that's it.
got that, Linda? All right, either you wanna take that motion there? You guys made the amendments, changes? Well,
I'll make a motion to accept Tom's change in language and the spelling of Ron Heiser's name.
sounds good. All right, thank you, Dan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Tom's going to second. Any discussion? Those in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, so we have some financials tonight. We have 3 payroll warrants and accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll warrants 25, 26, and 27.
All right, thank you, Josh. I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, motion carries. And we have an accounts payable, a number 29. We skipped 20 or 28.
I'll make a motion to approve warrant 29.
29. Thank you, Tom. I'll second that. Any discussion?
I guess the only quick update, I see we have the January payment for a snowplow contractor. Have all what I brought up at our last meeting been successfully clarified?
Sure.
All you have to say is yes or no.
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
We'll get that under wraps, yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Moving on here.
And
Oh,
you're gonna do that.
yeah, we haven't done the,
You haven't
haven't
voted on
called
it.
it. We're still,
I have to abstain because my My brother's on there.
Don't mind me, I'm a little frazzled,
Yeah.
so.
I'm
All
abstaining
right,
from
so we were, we were in discussion, sorry, I got ahead of myself. We were in discussion on 29, no more discussion on AP 29. All those in favor? All right, that's all of us there, so that carries as well, yeah. Oops,
I have
forgot
to
that one.
abstain.
And Josh is gonna abstain, sorry. So 3 and 1 abstain. All right, well, we'll move on to citizen comments, general correspondence. So Indy's got a couple things on here we can take a look at. We'll start with CLC ambulance service. So everybody get a chance to look at
Mhm.
the letter there.
If there's any questions, Tom might be able to
It's just
add a
gonna-
little
yeah.
bit toward, but that's
And-
the letter we had gotten from Nick Bryant, director for the service, and
Yeah,
letting us know what our expected levy or invoice will be for next year.
right. It's pretty straightforward. Some of them are non-negotiable, like insurance expenses. They're
Mhm.
projected from talking to the insurance people. And the payroll is something that we voted on last summer. Those increases were approved by the board. Other than that, it's almost a straight line across on all the other items. They're pretty good at managing their budget.
Yeah, it's not that much of an increase, is it, from?
Yeah, I can't remember the increase for the capital. It was some equipment. I don't recall exactly what it was.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just curious, why is like, we're only, so this is based upon tax evaluation for the towns.
Yeah, why?
Okay,
Oh, we don't want to get into that.
okay.
Yeah,
So
you can ask that question.
No, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna stop right now. I got it, I got it.
Might extend our meeting to.
No,
several hours.
No, I'm all good.
If you like a real explanation, there's a guy down in Walpole that would really.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll look-
we could talk about it later.
Sorry, I was off there, yeah.
Never mind, I just,
All right, any questions, comments on CLC? Nope, then we'll move on. And then we have a correspondence from Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, the animal control annual meeting.
Jason and I are both planning to go to that. I didn't make it
Okay.
last year, but we're both planning to go to that next week.
Now, what do we do with the meeting for this? Is it just a contract discussion?
I believe so. And here the letter, they talk about the anticipated changes of note are the 5% increase on
Yeah.
the wages, and then some proposed language changes to the
Okay.
indemnification section, which I did talk to the county administrator about, just to make sure, in the past, I've had our insurance company say that we don't hold people harmless for any and all. If there is negligence, there's negligence, but when it says any and all, they had to strike that from a lot of our contracts
Oh, okay.
previously. So I just raised that to them because
Yeah.
it would include the language for any and all. And so she was going to look into that before the meeting.
Gotcha. All right. Further discussion on that? We'll move on. Eddie, let's go through your report here. Any other
Just
exciting updates?
Yeah, the transfer station budget, there's a meeting in Noblesboro, I believe the first week in January. I believe it's Thursday, the 4th, waiting for
Okay.
confirmation. I did call the office. They were gonna try and do it next week, but had to put it off a week. So they're anticipating that first week in January. That's when they'll set the fees for the year
Yeah.
and let us know what our share will be. So planning on attending that as long as I can. But as soon as
I think we need to have somebody there.
Yeah.
Because I think there could be something coming our way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'd already been given just a heads up that there would be some changes next year anticipated because they were going to accept the haulers, some of the ones that pick up residential waste. And they were going to
Okay.
have it be included instead of an extra charge when they came, is how I understood it. So that was something they were going to be considering. So that would have a minor
Pretty-
impact on the revenue.
I think it's gonna have an impact on us.
So if you can't, if you're indisposed, which you very well may be, we'll come up with an alternate. Somebody can make sure somebody attends anyway. So,
Okay.
all right. Well,
I got so many games going every different direction. I just got back from Camden, so.
That was not next Thursday, but the
They-
Thursday after.
Think it might be the 4th, but it's
Fourth,
tentative
yeah.
at this time. I don't have a confirmation on that yet.
Okay. Tentatively the 4th. Right.
Do have I mean, nothing substantial per se, but a little update for Heater Road. We have had
Okay.
Amanda working with their attorney that represents the property going through the dissolution. It's
Yeah.
the property adjacent to the town garage. It's like a 50-foot by 200 and
Little
something foot piece.
Spot, yeah.
And so they seem amenable, just need to go through a court process to be able to give us that deed for that, what we'd asked for the road. There's also a possibility we might try and explore with them the remaining piece.
Okay.
It'd be almost everything that's left would be under the power line within that right away. So being where it's adjacent to our town property, I thought that might be worth trying to get that cleaned up and become part of ours.
Okay.
So we're going to work towards that and bring that forward once that's ready.
Be nice to get that squared away finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Website, I'd put a quick note in my report on that. I did have a few more conversations, both with our current website host, as well as another one. This was initiated by a different company that called and were very slick on the phone and ended up getting a few phone calls in addition to that and had listened in to what they were offering. Our current website, the platform it's built on sunsets at some point soon. We were given notice. It'll come with an upgrade from just version 7 to version 10. It's like an open access versus like a CMS site. Can't technically tell you the differences between those, but it has to do on the back end really and what the power and the capabilities are for the people managing the site. So looking at the two different web hosts, I mean, I think they want us to make a decision on the company that reached out to us that we're not currently with. They have a promotion going on. There's a heavy discounted price to have them, if we sign up now, to have them build a new site for us. Looking at a few of the examples they had or towns that enroll with them, it is definitely a different, simpler, lighter looking site. I think you lose some of the functions that we have with our current. There's a proposal, from our current host to not just go to that version 10, but to upgrade to the next level. So I was hoping to be in a position to be able to try and make it work within our budget this year with that steep discount, but after seeing a few, I don't know that we want to do that. And if they happen to run that,
Anybody we know that uses it?
not that I know of yet, I can find out, but the promotion runs till the end of this calendar year. So I think it's going to be a little too tight to try and do that. But I think with those numbers, maybe we can keep it in mind for next year's budget process, and maybe there'll be a similar consideration the end of next year that we might want to
Maybe we
consider.
can work with the AOS 93 new tech coordinator position.
Yeah.
Director, excuse me,
Um,
not tech coordinator.
So as far as, you mentioned like functionality and stuff, I know that, a discussion that's been had in the past was, with the website is, and we've got some stuff on there now, but certain permits and things like that,
Mhm.
they're trying to, make it easier. People don't have to come in, whatever we look at, we make sure that, now that's an important function. I think make sure stuff's still accessible and, there's certain applications or permitting things that they can
Right.
get online, but
So I think one of the things that was very appealing, and I haven't had any of the staff sit in on how the back end works, but they have right now it's very manual, clunky is the best way I guess I can put it. And what they are offering with this step up, the next step up, it's more like I want to add a slideshow. You just click on the widget and slide it into the page.
Yeah.
It's that simple finally, if you're willing to bump up to that level. So that
Gotcha.
comes at a price of about $9,000 a year. And that would include the ADA compliance that we don't currently fully comply with.
What's the current cost?
2,300.
Oh.
It would come with a built-in refresh every 4 years at that price for the company we currently use. So something that, we have to acknowledge our websites do go out of date. We do need to put that into it. So having it built into as part of an annual cost, we know it's just there and will be coming as long as we stay a client.
How much labor or time would be saved if you use the new version? Sounds like it's more efficient.
I think it would be a lot more efficient. We haven't had Kate, the part-time clerk, train on the current one yet. Once we found out it was sunsetting, that was one of the things that now that she's getting more comfortable up front, think about having her help with getting minutes and those kinds of things up on the website, keeping names updated. So that was one of those things. I think it'll become a lot easier for us. It'll look fresher. But something we might just need to budget for next fiscal year. And just consider the upgrade from 7 to 10 and call it good for right now, but.
That a bit, so.
Hodgson Street, we've been working with the contractor to close that out. There was some washout with the, not this most recent rain, but the previous one. So they'd gone back and need to, some of the ditch had eroded and, washed. So they needed to get the erosion control measures placed. So the engineer's been working with them to make that happen. Parking lot project, haven't had that on there in a while. Our contact at
Hadn't noticed.
our contact at EDA a couple weeks ago let me know that he wouldn't be our contact anymore. The person that would be has been involved and been CC'd on most of the emails we've had, and was actually the person he reported to, who then reported or presented to the committee. So he was aware of. 2 weeks went by and I hadn't heard anything, so asked Max to help me figure out how to make that move. And so Rich, I forget his last name, Hornberger, I think it is, who had signed some of the original applications with us. He's the contact now that's taken this. So did get that to happen this week. So he's reviewing what the engineers had put forward for phase 2. I'm hopeful we can get something back from them by the end of next week.
We'll be ready for March,
Yeah.
right?
I had asked
2 years ago.
March
I asked the engineer if we get
21.
something back from EDA by the end of next week, what would be our timeline to get something out to bid? And so if it comes back by the end of next week, they'd be prepared to get the bid out by the 8th. So hopefully we can stay on that.
Yeah. He's a funny man.
It's a banner.
How long did
Doing the
the
best
bid
you can.
process,
Yeah.
like a 30-day kind of thing?
I think they were aiming for potentially 45
45?
days. With I was with the holidays in there, so I mean, might be able to tighten it up a little bit. I think we were going to try and get it out right before the new year.
And then the projected start date, I'd have to go.
Potentially April,
So whoever gets the bid would have to be ready to go like right away.
or prove that it can still be done outside of, I think we had put restriction for Pumpkin Fest weekend and a preference for nothing substantial in July and August. That was pretty loud and clear from some of the stakeholders.
But I think we need a little flexibility with contractors
Mhm.
too, to see if we can get more to bid on it, if we can have a little bit more flexible dates,
Right.
if it fits within the confines of the grant.
Mhm.
But if it doesn't, I guess we can ask for an extension.
To try. The footprint of the tank had been reduced by, I think, 10 or 15% when the engineers went back and looked at this kind of redesign. And in doing that, it makes a lot of the parking lot still available. It would pretty much go from like the boat trailer parking to about Kobe and Gale's garage door there on the back side of the property. So it's about the footprint there. So the hope would be that we wouldn't have to shut off the parking essentially during all of it. We'd be able to hopefully phase and have at least some parking available, and we'd have to find some way to find some alternate areas for folks to try and park.
There'll be some logistics there, but figure it out.
So hopefully that's finally in a place where it's moving. As long as there's no significant changes that have to be considered upon their review, which there shouldn't be, we'll be okay.
Right, yeah, at this point, okay. Good. All right.
Just a reminder for Miles Street Phase 2, getting that sidewalk and the rest of that water work done, and drainage improvements, keeping that on the radar. Still don't know where we sit with a final balance from the first phase. We're still waiting to work that out. But just as a reminder, going into the budget process for next year to make sure, there's 60 grand that came in from private donations for the sidewalk there that the hospital has that will go towards that sidewalk work. I think it was in the ballpark of about 150 for our share for that second phase, with what we'd asked the contractor for at that time to see if we could try and make it happen all at once.
Right, yeah.
So it gives us an idea of what we're be looking at. And then plus the water work. So I know the hospital's interested in pursuing and going forward, but we both just kind of need to see where that first phase comes, but we'll be talking about that again during the budget process.
Okay.
Other than that, think the only other real thing of note, and we can move on, I just mentioned, I know it's been asked a couple of times, the tax stabilization program, we have gotten a reimbursement so far of $925, which every town is getting $5 per application sent to them as a recognition of the processing fees. $95,000 plus was what our stabilized amount was that the state would owe us, and that's due to us by January 15th,
Checks in the mail.
or will be. Yeah. Streetlights are fixed. That's the other one.
Oh, they are.
Company came in this
Okay.
afternoon, and they were gonna come Monday to work on streetlights. The traffic lights after Monday had been acting up on both of them, so
Yeah.
they were able to come in through town making their rounds around the state for
Oh,
their clients to fix those. They did get both of them reset. We tried doing both of them and it wouldn't do
Do
it.
something, same, like basically same issues. They just had a reset but no.
I'm assuming. He just said they got them going again and we're heading on their way. I never even.
That's good because there were some near
Hmm.
mishaps there.
Holy moly. Andy, how we doing on you noted in here that we got the foreman position out in the site.
Nothing yet.
Nothing else, just, yeah.
I just hadn't made it a priority to get it in the paper, but it's in there. Should be in there this
Yeah.
week.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it was in there.
And
Been online for a little while.
how'd Merrill do? Yeah, he was probably pretty busy the last few days and keeping stuff.
Monday, yeah, I ended up Monday. He was out trying to just patrol. I know Josh and his brother were out as well with the fire department, helping take a look at things. I ended up jumping in with Merrill about the time the tree on Lester Road was
Yeah.
glowing on the lines there, and it was a short glow, but
Oh, geez.
he
They
called,
need us there, so we let them take care of it.
he called and told me it was happening, so I thought, I'll come. So I was with him that
It's all right. You're fighting for it here.
for a
Yeah.
chunk of day there, and
Yeah.
then the ground was a little bit soft there following that, and we were able to get a little bit of material on Heater Road, not a lot, but just enough to fill some of those holes and kind of locked in a little bit. So hopefully it stays for a few weeks.
All right.
But no, he's doing great. He's painted this room, and we got him starting in the hallway out there so far. Just trying to freshen it up.
Right in here. It's fresh. Yeah. All right. Anything else in there I want to point out?
Shellfish committee.
Shellfish, yeah. We didn't have the meeting though, right?
No, we didn't.
The weather was a little wonky.
I waited a little while that day, hoping maybe we'd have a chance to do it, but we decided to cancel it with it.
Yeah.
There was a desire from the committee members to invite all the license holders. And Tara did a great job reaching out to all of them. The letter went out to every one of them. She called every one of them. And it sounded like most of them were going to come.
Yeah.
So I really didn't want to cancel that. 'Cause I
Right,
think it might be the
sure.
first time in quite a while that they've had all the license holders come. So
Yeah. That's impressive work. Yeah.
she was getting a lot of good
Unfortunately.
information and feedback from them, and got some email addresses. Hopefully it's easier to communicate with them in the future. But they'll have a meeting. They usually have a meeting in January anyways for the annual license or allocation.
Yeah.
They wanted to do this one just, building on, some of the conversation from the aquaculture stuff, but also there was a grant DEP or DMR put out recently. It's small, but they wanted to talk about that if there was.
Do you
something they
remember the
wanted to-
deadline on that?
I believe February.
Oh, okay.
It's geared more towards data collection and research. So, they're interested in.
Yeah. if they
Whatever we
they
can get
grab up
to
some money from
Keep that
DMR.
thing going.
Sure. Fair enough. So we've got a few dates coming up here. Yeah, closed on the 25th.
Closed 25th, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't put it on there, but we're closed the 1st.
Yeah, it should be closed on the 1st. And then what? You got comp plan with January 2nd, 5:30. Is comp plan meeting.
Mhm.
And you must know about that. Yeah. Next select board meeting, January 3rd, 5:30. Cemeteries trustee meeting, January 4th, 10 a.m. Got a nod from Patty over there. Yeah. And planning board, January 8th, 6 p.m. And close January 1st. Okay. Sounds good. Nothing else sneak in there? All right.
Always others, but
There's always
those are
others.
the ones I figured.
it's holiday week. We'll keep it light. So, all right. So I think we have, move on. We might have somebody patiently waiting in the works out here for official action items. So, looks like we have a cemetery reserve authorization, to consider. And, Patty, do you want to come on up the hot seat? Yeah. I said she's come prepared. Yeah. Oh, yes.
I remember that one.
Remember that one? Yeah. Yep.
It's a project we've been
No,
wanting to get
Yes,
for
yep.
Yeah.
a number of years. And we
Yeah.
have an opportunity to get it for roughly half price.
Okay.
If we do it now, the contractor wants to keep his crew working in between mowing season and plowing season and whatever. So they offered us basically half price to do the job. And we've been saving for it for several years, so we'd like to move ahead and get that straightened out if we can.
Mhm.
So the only thing I noticed, Patty, is it just says time period December 2023. So is this gonna be a month project or is this?
Don't think so. I think, I'm saying more than I know here, but I think a week or two,
Okay,
probably, because I think they're just gonna get on it, do it.
as long as the weather holds.
As long as they're not having.
Yeah, I
to
just
turn
don't
around and
want
plow.
it to drag out till April or May or
No.
whatever, so.
No, I think once they get it going, they'll do everything they can to get it wrapped up.
What project is it? I don't,
The Stetson lot at Hillside Cemetery has a surrounding curbing that is fallen, coming apart, disintegrating.
Need some TLC.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I have some concern that if any more of those go at just the wrong moment, somebody could be walking by and,
Yeah, they're upright.
yeah, we don't want
Yeah.
anybody getting hurt on the,
Yeah. So large slabs of, is that marble?
that's marble.
It's marble, yeah.
Originally, it would have all been
Beautiful stuff.
Mhm.
pinned together with lead shims in between so it would have been a nice tight fit that's just kind of fallen apart.
Now
separating.
there's a broken one up in that corner, right? Is that,
There may be,
yeah, so they just be trying to get it secure and yeah, I think that one's correct, right? Yeah.
I know there's one that's completely down. And you can't see from that picture, but on the back side of that monument, there's actually a little 2 or 3 step stairway that comes up
Oh,
into
yeah.
the lot.
Side. Quite the monument, isn't it?
Shipbuilders, here we go.
Yeah. Awesome. And you're looking at, yeah, was it 6,600 is
Right.
the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just need the authorization to proceed to spend that money.
I don't have any,
I'll make a motion if you want.
would you go ahead, Dan, if you want to take it?
I'll
Yeah.
make a motion. These are in reserve funds, right?
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
the unaudited, FY 23, there's about $30,000. 12,500 was appropriated for this year. 2,700's been used for stone repair so far. You're marking $5,000 or so for some of that tree work that we talked about. With that in mind, there's about $35,000 balance in the reserve right now. Counting for those.
35,000.
Yep.
And this is, you're looking at 6,600. Okay. Yep. All right, so I'll make a motion to take 6,600 out of the cemetery reserve for the raise and leveling of the curbing at the Stetson lot.
Awesome. I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Sure. It's gonna be nice to see that.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, all,
One of those that just grinds me every time I walk by.
right, yeah, it was so prominent as such a,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
And
Awesome.
I'm assuming we'll have a signed contract available for the contractor to pick up maybe Tuesday afternoon when the office opens, so he can get going.
Early Tuesday afternoon, yeah.
Okay, I'll let him know. Thank you.
thank you, Patty. All right, there's a couple of things left on the docket here. So we have a location utility permit. Forget how these work. Help me out with it, Andy.
So this is on Water Street. The house, it's a newly acquired house.
Mhm.
For someone, they've pretty substantial improvements to it that are happening. There's already power running under the road, and they initially wanted to run a new set of lines under the road, but sewer and water run through there at different depths, and with the minimum required vertical distance, underground, they'd have to be under, and I think it'd be at least 3 feet deep from the surface of the road, 2 feet from, 1 or 2 feet from another existing utility. So they'd have to snake it. And so I'd encourage them to, can you go overhead? And so that's what they're asking for now, is to put a pole kind of behind an existing shed. The road, I brought it for your just to approve or consider approving it. Right of ways through there.
I was
We're
gonna ask
working
about
on it,
that.
like an assumed right away there. It's, trying to track those deeds down. We again don't have like a road inventory that I'm aware of that kind of lays all that out. It'd be nice to someday have that, but without a defined known one, there's an old deed that maybe makes a reference to a 24-foot wide one, but it's not clear when the town accepted it. You can't just put it in a deed and call it good. So without verification of how the town accepted it, what the right of way was, it's kind of working within that assumed one, so it would put it within that.
What, did anybody contact the owners of the house?
This was the engineer or the architect that's working on behalf of the
Okay.
owners.
All right, so they know about it and they're not protesting.
No, so the pole would be on their property.
Oh, okay. But
There's an
they're,
existing pole across the street where the
Yeah.
power comes from now, and so they just want to put the pole on their property.
okay,
So they don't need, it's either within our right of way or on their property, so there's no one else that it would impact.
okay.
And it'll be in alignment with that shed, so it's no closer to the road than that shed is already. So it'd be a problem for.
I'll make a motion to approve the utility location permit for the utility pole on Water Street property.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Looks good. Okay, so the only other add-on we have to consider is the environmental record review. So this came in, get this in today, Andy, was that?
No,
Just say yes, it came in. Yeah, just hot off the press.
we met Monday, Monday?
Yeah,
Yeah, Monday.
during the rain, yeah.
Yes, it's been a hectic week for everybody, so we're not, I wasn't throwing you under the bus there. It's fine. Yeah.
So all the bids were due the 13th. I got 2 that came in. Tried to summarize this in a memo. I didn't have, this was following the meeting that we had on Monday. I had invited Josh and George, who are on our Public Works Committee, to attend, and had met with the folks at the Y. Michael, our planner, had attended as well. So we just kind of went through generally the 2 responses that we had gotten, one from Haley Ward and the other one from LaBelle. One's based out of Maine, one's based out of New York, Western New York.
Which?
Haley Ward's based out of Bangor and has locations up and down kind of the Northeast. And so with that, based on the experience they've had, I tried to, this kind of grading rubric, those max values, and those 5 qualifications there to consider what we had in the RFP and how we would rank or score that. So following our meeting, those were the numbers I assigned to it. But it was a unanimous decision during that meeting to go with the company that appeared to have more experience administering these HUD reviews.
Yeah, especially for the YMCA's.
And yeah, Haley Ward has also done a couple of projects with a couple of the YMCA's.
Oh, they have already?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, it seems like a no-brainer there.
and the price was cheaper.
And
than the
it's,
other.
okay.
So it was
Sounds good. I'll, yeah, I can, I'll make a motion. Oh, hang on a second. Take me a second.
just selection of the firm, right?
Yeah, right here with Haley Ward, yeah. I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Haley Ward and to allow the town manager to execute the contract on behalf of the select board. And
No,
do you need-
second.
do you need the price in there or no?
If you want to make a note, the lump sum was for 15,500.
For the sum of 15,500. Josh, your second?
Mhm.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor? Okay, sounds good. So that project's moving along then. They're getting,
Just there for the ride.
yeah, I know, yeah, no, we're just, I know, helping them along, so facilitating a little bit, so.
I think they got it pretty well under control.
Yeah,
The meeting the other day.
yeah,
Like,
good, okay. Well, that's good
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear. Nice to see things moving, So, all right. Yeah, so we're not going to executive session tonight. We can, does anybody have any selection items tonight they want to go through? We can start, Tom, start down there with
Happy
you.
holidays, Merry Christmas. That's it for me.
All right, short and sweet. Dan?
I'm happy to get going. So.
Same with Tom, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff, and I wanna thank the Andy and Merrill and all the rest of the people that were running around on Monday, trying to keep things going, roads open and picking up branches. Appreciate the efforts.
So, well, I can't add much to that. So again, yeah, happy holidays, everybody, and
I just got power back like 5 minutes ago.
a power back, all right. Well, yeah, there's folks that are out, so
have
hopefully
to
everybody
test-
gets power back and has a good, safe, happy weekend.
So you don't have to pedal that generator anymore, huh?
Oh, it's 5 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna run them all. Oh, boy. Oh, well, awesome, everybody. So we just made, I think these are all signed and we just, what else do we have to sign? I didn't even.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Well, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. Adjourn.
Second. There you go. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, meeting is adjourned. Go home.